What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another Lorcana video. I'm Illumina Rob, and today we're going to be talking about budget evasive emerald amethyst. Shout out to the website dreamborn.inc. This is a great place where you can do your deck building. You can even put your collection in there. And if you play online on Pixelborn, you can export your deck into Pixelborn. I will put the link to my deck in the description below. So let's get into the overview. So this is a very budget-based deck. It's $35.47. You can see, very cost-effective, and it does stack up pretty well against some of the bigger, heavier decks. We have, just a little bit of cards in the 1 cost, a lot of cards in 2 cost, a good amount of cards in 3, some cards in 4, a few cards in 5, and just a couple cards in 6. We have 17 cards in Amethyst, 43 cards in Emerald. There are mainly inkable cards at 53 with 7 non-inkables, 54 character cards, 6 song cards, and no item cards. Now let's jump into the specific cards. We have 4 copies of Pascal, and you might be asking yourself, where are your other 1-cost cards? Where's Archimedes? Where's Duke? Where's the 1-cost Flynn Rider? Oh wait, we're not into the second set yet. I mean, Olaf. Because everybody needs a friendly snowman, right? Perhaps Olaf really should be in this deck, even just to give me the more cards to ink. Well, my plan is to do plenty of mulligans to try to get my 1-cost, but understanding that it is not very likely in a 60-card deck, I might have to wait to play Pascal later on when he gains evasive, and really start to get going on turns 2 or turns 3, because as you'll see, I have plenty of 2-cost and 3-cost characters to get us on the board in a decent amount of speed. Not super aggro, but we are more of a mid-range deck. For the vanilla 2-cost cards, we have 4 copies of Genie the Ever Impressive with 2 strength and 3 willpower. Really gonna hold his own at least for 1 hit by Fire the Cannons. And then we have 2 copies of Tamatoa Drab a Little Crab with the 1/4, and he's gonna be able to survive Smash and hopefully stay on the board to get some lore. These cards are also good options for adding to the Inkwell if we need to get into our higher cost cards. For our 2 costs with abilities, we have Magic Broom, Bucket Brigade with 4 copies. And I seem to find myself inking this card more than actually using the sweep ability. But sweep is a great way to maybe get one of your song cards back from your discard. Maybe there's a bigger character that you lost that you want to shuffle back in. So don't count out sweep from the Magic Brooms. That is definitely a great ability. Then we have Aladdin, Prince Ali, 4 copies as well. He's got Ward. Opponents can't choose this character except to challenge. He can survive the smash, survive the cannons, because they cannot be fired at him. He can be a good option early on. Then we come to Flynn Rider. We got 4 copies, 2 drop with the 1 strength and 2 willpower, and he has 2 lore. 2 lore, that's right. Here comes the Schmolder. 2 lore on Flynn Rider. He is probably one of the best uncommons in the game right now, so you want to try to get him on the board. He is what we are going for in turn 2 to drop our Flynn Rider, start questing with him, get that 2 lore a turn, and really make your opponent decide, do I want to lose a card by challenging Flynn? One of the 2 drops that we did not include is Cruella de Vil. She's got this ability that when she's challenged and banished, you may return chosen character to the player's hand. You might be thinking, Rob, this is a great ability, why not include her? Well, I just haven't seen it pay off in gameplay. She usually gets smashed or just left on the board for the 1 lore and isn't taken out to choose a larger opposing character, which would get them off their momentum. Now for the 3 drops, we have a bunch of cards. First, we have 4 copies of a Mickey Mouse Steamboat Pilot. So Mickey has that 4 willpower for defense, meaning he's going to be able to survive some attacks. He also is a inkable card, so he's a great spot for the Inkwell. Sorry, Mickey Mouse. He's a vanilla, nothing too special about him, but we are gonna have him included because this is a budget deck and he's only like a 10-cent card. Since we have a bunch of 3 costs and we top out at 6 costs, our target for the Inkwell is going to be 6 cards in our Inkwell. Next up is Jasper, and this is the 3 cost that you want to get out on turn 3. If you don't have Jasper, you're going to want to go with Evasive Peter Pan. With Jasper, he has Puppy Napping. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn. That is going to be huge. Keep the pressure on and have it stay on. Every turn, he's going to be a target for being taken out, and he's got that 4 willpower. That's going to be really nice to have. On to Peter Pan, 4 copies of Peter Pan, and he's evasive. If I don't have my 6 cost, he's going down on turn 6. If I don't have my evasive 4 cost, he's going down on turn 4. This deck just really wants to get the evasive characters out, get them questing, and get you to that 20 lore to win. Now, the next 2 3-cost cards seemed much more situational to me, so I've included 2 copies of Cheshire Cat and 2 copies of Iago. Cheshire Cat is a 3-drop 0/3 with 2 lore. When this character is challenged and banished, banish the challenging character. So with the 2 lore, this is going to be a larger target than, say, Corella would have for the banishing through challenge. And if I'm stuck deciding between inking Jasper or Cheshire Cat, I'm definitely going to ink the Cheshire Cat to get that puppy napping ability on Jasper. With Iago, we have the 1 strength 4 willpower, so it's going to stand its test of time. And then if we choose to exert it, chosen character gains reckless during their next turn. They can't quest and must challenge if able. We're just trying to manipulate our opponent into doing what they don't want to do. Give them reckless, push them back off the board. And in these next 2 cards, we're going to see just that with the 3 cost uninkable Mother Knows Best. We have 3 copies of both these song cards. Mother Knows Best says, return chosen character to their player's hand. Now, this is a song card. You're going to be able to sing this song with a character with 3 cost or more by exerting them. That's a great way to use this card. Instead of taking up spots in your Inkwell, you're going to want to target their big characters, mess up their game plan so you can quest away and evade them to victory. Now, our other song card is Friends on the Other Side, a inkable 3 cost with a draw 2. Drawing cards in this game is so important. Being able to just get extra resources in your hand through Friends on the Other Side, through Mad Hatter, which you'll see in a little bit. Those are our ways to gain some hand advantage. On to our 4 costs. We have 4 copies of Tinkerbell Most Helpful, and turn 4 is going to be all about getting your evasive character out if you haven't done so already on turn 3. Now, the neat thing about Tinkerbell is she has pixie dust. When you play this character, give evasive to chosen character this turn. If you haven't gotten out Peter Pan or you haven't gotten out Jasper and you had to put out Mickey Mouse, then you could give Mickey Mouse evasive. If you're playing another evasive deck, Mickey could challenge into your opponent's evasive character, helping you keep the tempo in the game and throwing off your opponent's plan. Another option for this could be Horace, who we did not include in the deck, but he is a bigger strength character, giving you a shot at taking out your opponent's characters with higher willpower. Now, our next card is Jetsam, 4 copies of Jetsam as well. Ursula's Spy. He's a 3/3 evasive, and if you happen to add Flotsam into the deck, he's going to add evasive to Flotsam. Now, to keep it a very, very budget deck, we've chosen not to include Flotsam just because it's a little bit harder to come by as a rare. He's also uninkable, which we don't want too many of those in the deck. Jetsam's gonna give you that 3 strength, 3 willpower. Definitely the better option than Tinkerbell if you know you need to use him to challenge rather than to quest. But if you think you can quest to get ahead with Tinkerbell, she's got the 2 lore. Go ahead and play her on turn 4. She is our target for our turn 4. Now, you might be asking where are some of the other 4-drop characters like Hans. Hans is a rare. He's a 3 lore. He's vanilla, but he definitely has a big board presence with that 3 lore. So if you have the resources, you could include him, but in order to have 3 or 4 copies of this, you're going to be dropping about $8 a piece on TCG Player. This, along with some of the other cards that I did not include, would push the deck well over $100, and we really wanted to keep the deck at a more budget-friendly $40 value. Moving on to the 5 drops, we have Mad Hatter, Gracious Host. He's got 2 strength and 4 willpower, and then he has Tea Party. Whenever this character is challenged, you may draw a card. So you're going to want to quest away right on turn 6 with this guy, get the 3 lore, and hopefully keep questing into turn 7. Going to give you a lot of lore that way. Well, I figure he's probably going to survive 1 or 2 rounds, giving you at least 3 lore, and then going to get that draw once he's challenged. Hopefully get a couple of draws off him since he has that 4 willpower. It's not going to get defeated right away. Our last 5 cost is 4 copies of Tinkerbell, Peter Pan's ally. She is a 3 strength and 3 willpower. She has evasive, and then she has loyal and devoted. No Peter Pan in this deck, so that won't matter too much, but she does quest for 2 lore. So if you can get her questing, get some more lore, she is a pretty solid card. I would just say that if you want to go above the budget, then everybody is going for that Emerald Cusco. More on him in a little bit. For our final card in the deck, we have 2 copies of Genie on the Job. 6 cost, uninkable, with 3 strength and 4 willpower. He is evasive. He also has Disappear. When you play this character, you may return chosen character to that player's hand. He quests for 2 lore. Disappear has been clutch in a few games for me. I've been able to get a Hans off the board. I've been able to get a Mad Hatter off the board. Just really solid ability if you're able to combo this with Mother's Knows Best with singing that song with some of your other characters. You can really tilt the board into your favor and hopefully quest a victory with your evasive characters. Alright, so now for the elephant in the room, the 5-drop Cusco. He's about $15 on TCG Player. And if you're going to run Cusco, you're going to want to run 4 of him in your deck. That's going to be about $60. Add that in with the other additions to the deck, and you're talking about a deck well over $100 to $200. Now, if you want to compete at the top level, okay, yeah, sure, go for it. But we're talking about a budget deck in a world where there is not much Lorcana to be found. No stores have it. It's really hard to find. You're lucky if your local game store still has it. It's really hard to build the deck with 4 copies of cards if you can't even find it anywhere. Alright, so that is it. That is my Emerald and Amethyst budget evasive deck for under $40. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking it out. And I did bring this deck to my local tournament this past weekend. I played a fellow Emerald deck, I played a Lemon Lime aggro deck, and I also played an Emerald and Steel Pound the Heck Out of Me deck. So I've actually been able to beat the Emerald Steel deck a few times. I did get taken down by the Lemon Lime aggro deck, so if I was to improve this deck or to make some adjustments to make it a little bit more offensive, I would include Rafiki for the Rush to get that 3 strength against some of the characters like Hans, some of the other big questers, and then I also might include a copy of Beast. He's got that Rush as well. He's got a little bit more strength and a little bit more willpower. Again, thank you all for watching. Remember to smash the like and subscribe button. I'm Illuminator Rob, and I'll see y'all real soon.